rounds at 3 minutes. Brought to you by Flow Combat. This is in the featherweight division, and it is a UMMAF regional semifinal bout. First, weighing in at 145.6 pounds with 2 wins, no losses, and 1 no contest. Out of 10th Planet, Decatur, Alabama, out of the Hogs red corner, Jacob Sandlin. And his opponent, weighing in at 145.6 pounds. He has a record of 2 wins, 1 loss. Out of the MMA Institute in Dayton, Tennessee. Out of the Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell blue corner, Logan Neal. Your referee for this bout is Jimmy Neely.
Jimmy Neely, our referee in this featherweight bout. UMAF Regional Semifinal qualifying match. Jacob Sandlin in the black and orange trunks. Logan Neal in the black and white trunks. Flow Combat presenting this featherweight bout. 3 3-minute rounds. If Sandlin can fight as well as he can stare down his opponent, he will stay undefeated.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. I don't feel like Jacob Sandlin is handling this like it's a business.
Oh, flying knee out the gate.
Like it's a business trip. This is personal for him. They didn't touch gloves, and Sandlin went after him hard. Again, a lot of effort by Sandlin to look tough. Sometimes that may backfire.
Sometimes, and we don't know if that was necessarily the case here, but sometimes social media get some trash talking happening. I'm not sure if that happened here, but boy, that flying knee was spectacular by Sandlin to start things out.
Sometimes if you can get somebody's head, especially like you said on social media, you can make them fight out of emotion. They get tired easily trying to hurt you. This is not a sport where you can fight and be mad. You have to keep your composure. You have to fight to the best of your ability. This is not a street fight, okay?
Did it take you a while to learn that, Sawyer? Because you bring some emotion into the cage.
I mean, I don't want to, well, I like to play with people, and get in their head. I play head games, okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, if I can get you mad at me and try to hurt me, that's great. Okay, you're going to get tired, and I'm going to capitalize on it. And that might be what's happened here because he looked pretty mad.
Yeah, Sandlin at 18, though, I don't know if he's well-versed in playing mind games. Maybe that's what he was thinking he was doing, but I just don't know if it came across that way or if it came across as somebody young that was trying to intimidate somebody else. But we'll see. I mean, came out with that big flying knee.
And an age like that, like 18, maybe he doesn't know how to fight and be calm yet. Maybe he has to psych himself out and get mad. I've seen people do that. It's not for me. But some people be like, oh, I have to slap myself around a little bit.
Nice back heel trip there. I mean, other than the pre-fight intimidation, we haven't seen much in the first almost 2 minutes.
Maybe he was just thinking about that flying knee the entire time. He was like, oh, I'm going to do this.
Just past the midway point in round number 1, 3 3-minute rounds here. Sadi Daisy Wrestling Arena, Sadi Daisy, Tennessee. Appreciate you joining us. Cage side here and UMAF Regional Semifinal qualifier here. Winner will advance in the featherweight division to compete in the finals in Elizabethton March 18th.
Sandlin almost looks like he doesn't have enough room to do it, but he almost looks like he's trying to set up an omoplata here. He's up on the cage. I'm not sure if that's what he's doing, but he's definitely playing the rubber guard game here and trying to get that leg over his head.
Well, Sandlin's got his coaches right in his ear because
maybe
he's right
trying
in
to set
front
up
of
the
their
triangle
corner.
right here.
From our vantage point, get a little bit better view on
in Sandlin's position here, trying to set up submissions from the bottom. When you're on the cage here, you don't have enough room to wiggle around and maneuver. When you have a wall there, it's kind of restricting your movement when you're on the bottom.
And if Neal feels that he's in ultimate trouble, can he stand up and back out, or is he trapped at this point?
It depends. Like, I don't have a really good view of where his arms are, but he's actually he's got underhooks from the top position, which he should posture up and bang right here.
Yeah, and I thought that's what he was going for too, and never
great sweep
did it.
at the end there by Sandlin. That was awesome. Great sweep.
He looked like he wanted to throw a punch after the horn, and then he backed out and sort of nodded to Sandlin.
Maybe Sandlin was trying to get in his head and get Neal mad, because because Neal came in looking composed. At the end there, he looked kind of irritated with him.
And this is what we were talking about with Sandlin not having the room to operate, not having the room to do what he was trying to do.
He was trying to set up an omoplata, I believe,
Yeah.
and he didn't have enough room to do it because of the cage.
And Neal, I don't think he ever felt that he was in a lot of trouble because he could have backed down. I don't think he was really necessarily trapped by Sandlin here, and really just a mess of these two
If you
in
look
the
at
cage.
Neal's right arm, he's actually behind Sandlin, which is very interesting from the top position. He should be trying to posture up and break that right there and throw punches.
Instead, he was just comfortable being where he was. And
Just sitting there, and that's something you cannot do in MMA. You
so,
cannot
so
stall.
who wins round number 1?
That was
do you
actually
think?
a close.
I don't know.
And Neal was comfortable standing up the whole time. No stool for Logan Neal
I mean,
in his corner.
If I had to score that round, I would be giving it to Neal based on top position. A submission attempt does not win you any points. It's a failure.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Sawyer. I do think that Neal won that first round. I don't think Sandlin did anything.
Good shot by Neal here.
The flying knee is a distant memory.
Oh,
Switch kick there.
yep.
I think that Neal has the strength advantage here. I think he's throwing. Sandlin had an underhook there, and he got thrown around.
Double leg there, trying for a takedown.
Sandlin's
He locked him up
there
there.
we go.
That's crazy what just happened there because Sandlin had the underhook and then got taken down with the double leg. That just doesn't happen. I think that we're seeing the strength advantage from Logan Neal.
Yeah, I think you set it up right there perfectly when you guys were talking about the strength difference, and to be able to wrap your arms around him and then finish that out to be able to take him up and down. Very impressive. A minute gone by here in round 2.
Yeah, and Logan Neal now has the benefit of being in his corner here, as opposed to where they were in the end and all throughout round number 1.
Yep. And Sandlin grabbed the Neal a couple times. And Jimmy
Sandlin,
Neal
there
was
we
all
go.
over.
Sandlin's trying to set up those subs.
Now he's got a leg.
Now Sandlin with the single leg.
Corner wants Neal to put his back to the wall, sort of climb it. See if he can do it, with Sandlin still.
Yeah, they're calling for a cage walk here. He's needing to put his back to the cage, get an underhook, and walk up the cage, which he is unsuccessful in doing now.
Sandlin's out, now on top. The 18-year-old.
Neal's giving up his back here,
Yeah,
but
momentarily.
gets reversed.
Sandlin couldn't do anything with it.
Stand up out of there. Just come all the way out.
Sandlin going to try for a submission from the bottom
Yeah,
here.
well, we go. Explode. Back to your feet.
Corner wants Neal to.
This is the story of earlier.
Yeah.
Sandlin trying to set up the subs, and he's on the fence. He just doesn't have the room. He's stacked up against the cage, and this is good for Neal because he doesn't give him room.
And as you sort of gave him the benefit of the doubt in the first round because he's in that top position, he may get credit for that again.
Sandlin will scramble right here. He can get up. Oh, he's trying to set up the triangle.
Yep, he's got room.
He's got
He
him.
needs to reach up and pull his shin down. Now it's locked. It's very tight.
17 seconds.
That's tight.
Can
Can't
Logan hang on?
That's tight.
Tap, it's over.
Wow.
The 18-year-old Jacob Sandlin stays undefeated.
3-0. Wow, that's great for an 18-year-old to be 3-0. He's trying to do that all night. He's trying to set up the submission, omoplata to the triangle, just back and forth. He was going to catch one of them. He was determined.
Just never gave up.
Yeah.
Did Jacob Sandlin, and we talked about it, that perhaps he was in trouble. He was overpowered and just continued to go after. He got some room off the cage and was able to lock in the submission.
He was relentless with those subs, man. I mean, he wanted that bad, and he got it. Paid off for him.
I think you guys were all over it with the lack of space he had the first couple of times. He was able to scoot him out far enough to where he could lock it in.
Some of those attempts, if he had been in the middle of the cage, I think he probably would have finished that earlier. Very good job by Jacob Sandlin.
Yeah, well, very well done by Jacob Sandlin, who is now 3-0. Hasn't won no contest, but 3-fight winning streak at only 18 years old. Comes in from Alabama into Tennessee and gets the victory. Now has wins over Tyrone Nicholson, Seth Boswell, and now a very good Logan Neal. Logan Neal will fall to 2-2. And Neal now has lost 2 straight. Won his first 2 fights over Michael Ryland and Lawson Quigg. Had that tough absolute war with Keith Olson that Josh mentioned earlier. And then a loss here tonight to Jacob Sandlin. All right, let's go to Chandler.
Jimmy Neely stops this fight at 2 minutes and 51 seconds into the second round by way of triangle choke. Your winner out of the Hogs red corner, Jacob